Hey you guys, welcome to my channel. So today we are going to be doing a second quarter catch up, and I'm just going to tell you about the curriculum that we've been using, what's working, what's not, how we like it, and yeah. So if you guys want to see what we are using, stay tuned. Go down my list. I wrote something down for myself to kind of stay on track and share what I thought you guys would be interested in. So starting off with Bible, that is the first subject that we typically do in a day, and we use Abeka. We've been using it since we started homeschooling. I do parent-led. It works really well for us. There are some things that I have changed up to make it a little bit easier on us for the kids to understand. So with the Abeka Bible curriculum, it comes with a booklet like this, and this is basically one of the sets of lessons that we are learning. We're actually walking through Jacob now. So these are flashcards, and they come with photos. They have been laminated. I take the book apart, I laminate them just so that I could hold on to them, because they are so, you guys, they are put together so well. I plan on using them with my son, and it's even helping me with learning some of the stories and remembering things. So basically this is the lessons that came with the flashcards. So this was actually in one book. So this was a book with this inside of it. I just kind of took it apart and put it together how I wanted to use it. So basically it has these 4 lessons here. The first one is twins but different. The second one is Jacob's ladder. The third one is Jacob meets his match. And the fourth one is Jacob comes back. So for instance, you read through the first lesson here. So it has the lesson here, and then it tells you what Bible verses to pull from. It continues all the way through. Continues, and then it even tells you what picture to pull that you want your kids to look at while you're reading it. And then it would start the next lesson with a new set of Bible passages to read. And then at the back of this, it has different questions that you can ask to make sure that your kiddos are comprehending the story and understanding. Now, we used to read the passages first that it recommends out of our Bible, and then we would read this. But sometimes the Bible's hard to understand, even though I have an 8th grader and a 4th grader. And you guys, I'm an adult and you know, some of the things are still hard for me to understand. So I found that reading this first and then reading the passages has helped so much. So we've been doing this. It also comes with a lesson plan book that walks you through each day and tells you what you should be doing or what you need to work on. This is kind of like a little guide for me, but I don't use it to a T. I just kind of pull from it how I want. And then on Fridays, we have our own group Bible, and I just piece together so many different things. This is one thing that we're working through, and I actually am really enjoying this, you guys, the DK Family Bible. It has really pretty pictures in here, illustrations. It even shows things today, and it breaks some of the things down. So it walks through the story for you, and then there's like a part that says understanding the story, and it kind of just breaks down what the meaning of that story was, so you understand it a little bit better. So this has been really helpful. This we use on our review days. So we'll work through the lesson out of Abeka's curriculum, and then after we work through that specific lesson, we read about it in here, just because it kind of tells it in a little bit of a simpler way. On group Fridays, we've been working through the Answers book for kids. This is the one on dinosaurs. We've been working through the 10-minute Bible journey, which we've really been enjoying. We've been doing the manners and tips for caring kids. This is on the fruit of the Spirit, so it's more like character building. And then this one is the Ken Ham One Blood for Kids. This is purchased through Master Books. We're really enjoying all of these. This book, I should have already been completely finished with second quarter, but because of this month, if you guys have seen the video, this month was kind of all over the place, so we didn't have group Bible as much. So this I'm not done with. This, I think we should have actually been done with as well. We are not. This one definitely we're not going to be done with yet. This is going to be a whole year thing. And then this one I was hoping that we can get done after our third quarter, but because we haven't been reading as much on group Bible on Fridays, it's kind of just fallen through the cracks. So I'm just gonna pull this over to our third quarter and continue. But you guys, each one of these books are really, really awesome. They're such a great supplement to have. If you guys are looking for anything for Bible, I would really suggest these. Now this one I picked up in a full set. So you can do that, or you can get them individual. I think it has like 10 volumes or 8. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But all of those are linked in my Amazon storefront if you guys want to check it out. It's down below. So they've also been working through this. This goes with their Bible verse cards, and basically it is like a copy workbook that I put together. So I have these cards individually laminated for them. And after I had created that, I wanted them to do copy work, so I thought it'd be nice to put something together. It's pretty small. So this is the verse that she worked on this week, and this is her copy work that she's been doing to memorize this. So this is her copy work for her verse. And then we also have the Bible characters book. And once we've completed a series or a unit, I would say, I have them fill out what they learned. So basically this is all about Adam and Eve, and then we've done Cain and Abel. It's just to kind of help them put in writing what they learned, so it helps them remember the story. The Tower of Babel. So she's just been working through this. She still has a little bit to go through. I mean, we have this whole book, and we'll continue to carry this on for each year if she hasn't learned about any, if she doesn't learn about all of them this year. So this is something else that's on my website if you guys are interested. So that is our Bible. That's a lot, I feel like. I just spent a lot of time on that. But those are the things we're using. We're continuing to use those throughout third quarter and probably fourth. Okay, so the next thing that we are working through, now this is for my fourth grader, but we do it with my third grade niece as well. We've been working through Notgrass, Our Star Spangled Story. We've actually been doing this for 2 years. This is our second year, and we'll get through this book this year. So the grades that you can work through this on is 1st through 4th. This is an awesome curriculum if you want smaller, shorter lessons. I believe there's 3 lessons per week in here. We love Notgrass. I do have a link down below. I am an affiliate with them, and I truly love their curriculum, you guys. So one of the reasons I love them also is their units, or I'm sorry, their lessons are pretty short. And I like that because I wanted to add in my own unit studies and kind of dive deeper in the topics or specific people in history, and I found that this curriculum worked well for being able to do that. Even if you're a homeschool family that doesn't necessarily want to add things to their history, they just want it more laid back and not so stressful and heavy, this is a great way to go. You can pick from it what you want to use and what you don't. So we've been working through that, and the units that we've added in for this quarter was Ellis Island. So this is the book that we read through. It's Cornerstones of Freedom, Ellis Island by Scholastic. So we read through this. So we worked through this unit study. It's just like different questions that I had them answer. A couple activities are in here, things like that. And then I also read this as a read aloud to them. This is At Ellis Island, A History in Many Voices. So this was a really good book to kind of use as we read through it. I didn't read the whole book. It's pretty heavy. It's kind of sad, but I did read some of this. Another unit study we worked through was the Titanic. Now the Titanic was not a part of Notgrass's history curriculum, but my kids had mentioned, or my daughter and my niece had mentioned it to me that they really wanted to learn about it and read about it and do a unit on it. So that's what we did. So we went through the Who Was. We love this series, you guys. It's short, to the point. There's pictures. It's engaging. We really love those books. And then I went ahead and put together this unit study for Titanic. Again, there's activities, there's writing prompts, there's questions, things like that throughout this little unit study. And then I went ahead and I printed out this here just for the kids to do their own little menu. They got to choose if they were in first class, second class, or third class, and they got to write a menu. Another thing we added to that is this little waterfall packet. And it has like important people, important dates, and then they just had to, as we read about it, they filled this out according to that. I just used blank paper and kind of turned it into like a waterfall page. I did see this on the internet. That's where I got the idea for this here. Another unit we worked through was George Washington Carver. This was the book that I used. I had this book for, man, a few years. I want to say like 2 or 3 years. And with this book, it's for levels 1, 2, and 3. So I can definitely read through these stories with my youngest, who is now in pre-K. But this was a level 1 story. You can definitely go higher. This was more to the point. That this is what I originally did this unit study in. I'm not sure if I'm going to do another unit study on George Washington Carver using another book, but this one's pretty short, but the kids really enjoyed doing it. So we did George Washington Carver as a unit. And then the last unit study we did for this quarter was the Wright brothers. We used this book here. This is by Scholastic. It's Can You Fly High, Wright Brothers. And then again, we just did the unit study that has questions, writing prompts. They could do little activities. There's like drawing things in here, stuff like that. So that's our history. That's what we used this quarter for history. We got through 4 of our units, which I'm very happy with, you guys. I feel like we got a lot accomplished this quarter in history. Also for the kids, they've been working through their US presidents. I'll show a clip here to show you guys what it looks like. Again, it's something that I have put together. I love adding in our own things, kind of our own touches to things. That's why I'm creating these unit studies and these things that I feel like the kids were lacking or that I wanted them to have more of. So I put these together. But this is the US presidents. This is the book that we are using to go along with it. We use 2. And we do look up some videos on YouTube, and we have them draw pictures, and this is what the pictures look like here. We either have them trace it or we have them watch a tutorial on how to draw it. So that's basically what we do for history. Now for geography, we are using 50 states. This year is 50 states. We started this last year. We are finishing it this year. I feel like we're on crunch time, you guys. I feel like we still have a lot left in here to do. But we do 50 states, and then we use highlights, which is Which Way USA. So you have like a subscription to them, and they send you every 3 to 4 weeks. They send you 2 more states, and they have activities and things to work on through there. Some mapping skills that you have to practice in there. It's more of like a critical thinking, but they also give you like on each spread, they talk about a specific place in that state. So say you were doing California, they would have Alcatraz on there or the Golden Gate Bridge, and then you would have like an activity, either like a word search or a maze, or, you know, find what's missing, more of like you just having to problem solve or critical thinking and stuff like that. And then they do have a really large map that has all different information for that specific state and the map itself. So they do mapping skills, and they have to find the answers to like geography or history of that state. So it's really cool. The kids really love that. So that's basically what we're doing for geography. I'm also having her do a mapping workbook. I purchased it through Amazon. It was for 3rd to 6th grade. I'll have a picture of it here for you guys. And that seems to be working every year. I just moved to the next section of the book, and I'm not sure if we're going to continue that next year, depending on what we are using, but it's working well this year and last year. So that's our geography. We're liking it. So yeah, we'll continue to do it until we are done. So the next subject is science, and we are using The Good and the Beautiful this year. It's our first year using it for science. And at the beginning of the year, I purchased 4 different units. We did kingdoms and classifications for the first quarter. Second quarter, we did ecosystems. So this is what we just finished up. Our plans were to do mammals for a quarter and marine biology for a quarter, but we've changed that because we want to add things in to those units. And I believe we're doing marine next, and we start that this coming up week. We're really excited about it. But I know that there's like 13 or 14 lessons, and we didn't want to try to cram so much into each week to get it done in 9 weeks. And we also wanted to use some of our books that we have, supplements and stuff, to go along with it, just to kind of add to the information that's in it. So speaking about that, ecosystems, my sister ran the science class, so I am not the teacher in this class, she is, and she enjoyed it more than she enjoyed kingdoms and classifications, and same with the kids. My sister still feels like there needs to be more, but that's just her opinion, because I want to say we're kind of traditional in teaching and learning. We like a lot of information. We like to study it for a while until the kids really grasp it, instead of just touching on stuff and moving on. We're more like, we want to know, we want to learn, we want to read on it for a little while until we get it. So we feel like with this, it's kind of lacking that maybe. I don't know if it's just us, maybe it's the unit again. I'm not quite sure, but they did enjoy it more than the first one we did. We are going to continue using the good and the beautiful through this year, and we will have mammals for next year, I believe. I'm not sure if we are going to figure out something else or what we're doing there, but we are finishing. We're going to be starting marine biology and giving that one a chance. But I mean, it's not our favorite, but it's not bad. Do you know what I mean? It's just, we feel like there needs to be more for us. So that's what we're adding in. So pretty much the same as first quarter. We weren't too into this, but we are still doing it. We're still proceeding with the good and the beautiful. So we're hoping. We did end up buying the readers that go along with this. If you guys were here for my first quarter catch up or recap, we hadn't bought the read alouds that they suggest, but we decided to go ahead and just get it. Why not? What can it hurt? So they did use it for this one, and they really actually enjoyed those books that went along with this. They read both of them and they really enjoyed it. All of them, the kids and my sister. So yeah, so right now they're actually working on their oral report. They're going to be giving that to us next week. Yes, we're starting third quarter next week, because how we ended, we literally just ended this and we wanted them to do an oral report, so we're gonna have them do that. And I did like little templates for them to go off of. I will have that in my on my website if you guys want to check it out. I'm gonna be doing an oral report for us for their second quarter grade to go along with their science. So I actually did 2 types of templates. One set that can go on a folding poster board, and one set that can go on file folders. You would just take 2 file folders, tape them together so you have 3 folds, and it looks like a little display, but I wanted to do it that way so we can hold on to these in their little portfolios for this year. So I did a little template where they would put the information of the ecosystem that they chose, and then they kind of do details and pictures. They could either draw, research some photos on the internet, stuff like that. And so I'm hoping that I'll have this on my website. If you guys are at all interested, be sure to check it out there. All right, guys, so that is it for our science. So science, our second unit is done. So language, we are still working through Abeka's language. It's still the same. She enjoys it. She's excelling. So we're continuing on through this year with that. Health, we did the good and the beautiful safety. The kids loved it. My sister liked it. They really enjoyed it. They finished the whole thing. So that was done. Let's see here, reading. So originally we were using Abeka. I stopped having Tally read the readers from Abeka because she was really not enjoying reading, and it made her not want to read ever. So I took that away from her, and now she reads read-alongs. She's been doing it. This is the second quarter. She's been doing it since, man, I want to say halfway through the first quarter, and maybe even before that. I think she only got a few weeks into the first quarter, but she's really been enjoying reading. She's been reading a few books. She's gotten through a few books. Actually, I'll be having a video up on a book review on stuff that we've read, and I'll include some read alouds that we're doing, but she's continuing to read her own choices for her readers. And I did put together a little book review thing for the books that she's reading that's not a report, just so that I can make sure that she's understanding the story, that she can answer some questions. So I have her fill that out, and then she also does a book report for each quarter. So she chooses a book to do for each quarter for her book report, and I did fill something or type something up for her for that as well. And that should be on my website as well. Another thing for writing, we originally started with Abeka. So I was going between Abeka, The Good and the Beautifuls, creative writing, and then we were doing some Evan Moore critical thinking, and we really enjoyed it. She really enjoyed the Good and the Beautifuls also, but I just found like it was just all over the place. I'm like pulling her from this to that to this to that. The critical thinking wasn't really writing, it just kind of went into maybe language arts, I would say. No, I would just say critical thinking, you guys. I mean, just having her think outside the box to answer these questions. I do really love that. I wish that I could still fit that into our daily curriculum, but I can't. So I'll have to figure out how we're going to incorporate that, if at all. But we've stopped doing that. She stopped doing the Good and the Beautiful writing, and she stopped doing the penmanship through Abeka. Now, I will say that through Abeka with their language arts, she's still working through writing because she's doing different reports and things. So she's still getting writing in there. And what I've started to use is, last year we were using Night at the Zookeeper, but we stopped because we just didn't have the time for it. But this year I'm having her work on it 3 to 4 days a week. And it's not just for writing, it's language all over. You know, it touches on everything. She's doing creative writing, she's doing language, reading comprehension, all of that stuff in that one video. I have her do it for about 20 minutes a day when she does do it, and she's really enjoying it. So that's something that's, you know, really cool to look into if you guys want your kids to kind of have something different, even if you did it a few days out of the week. If you guys are at all interested in that, I have a link down below in my description box, and it's a 50% off yearly subscription. So if you guys want to check that out, I would definitely look into it. It's really cool. She loves it. Another thing is spelling. We're still working through Abeka. Everything's good. She's not having any problems. We were trying to use an online service. It was like through a website that you put in the spelling words and you can type it up there. But it always had glitches and it was always messing up, and it seemed to just frustrate her and take longer to get through it. So we went back to just doing flashcards and writing her lists, and that works out perfect for her. She'll do like a trial test once a week, and then after the trial test, I give her her regular test. And let's see, I think that's it, you guys. So that's how our second quarter went. We did get through some stuff. I definitely want to focus on group Bible more this next quarter, make sure that we get through the books that I have set aside for this year. Also, another thing we've been doing is read alouds at night. I've been loving that. I think she's been enjoying it. It's been really nice. We've been getting through a lot more books that way. And the stress of not having to do it during the day while we're trying to get school done has really helped me, at least. I'm not sure if it's helped her, but it's definitely helped me. And that's it, you guys. That's our second quarter. Everything's going great. There's some things that we definitely wanted to change, but most everything we're enjoying. So I hope that this video is helpful to you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what quarter you guys are in. Did you guys have to toss some curriculum out and pick some new stuff? Let me know what you guys are loving. That way I could look into it just in case. I am planning for next year already, you guys. So hearing about curriculum is my favorite thing. So make sure you leave me some comments down below. And yeah, so that's it, you guys. Give me a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you guys very soon. Be safe, be blessed, guys. Bye.
World had more of your smile. What if the wind could spread your love? What if your sweetness could reach everyone? There'd be no wars.